What's going on, family and friends? Welcome back to My Thoughts Uncut. I'm your host, Terrence Manning. Thank you for watching. Today, we're going to talk about a man has been shot in Atlanta 17 times in the back. 17 times in the back. What is going on in Atlanta? Let's take a look.
Tonight, only on 11 Alive, family and friends of a Metro Atlanta man killed by an off-duty Atlanta police officer in Buckhead are demanding justice. 44-year-old Linton Blackwell was shot in a parking lot behind a bar on October 11th. Tonight, an autopsy report reveals Blackwell was shot 17 times and nearly every single bullet hit him in the back. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn has been following the story since the night it happened, and just hours ago, he filed this report after speaking with Blackwell's manager, who says he just wants justice for his best friend.
My name is Timothy Coleman, and I'm Linton Blackwell's manager.
Born and raised in Metro Atlanta.
Preferably from some projects called East Lake Meadows, a.k.a. Little Vietnam, which we rep proudly. We got it on the shirt right here.
44-year-old Linton Blackwell, better known in the local music scene as B. Green, but more importantly, a father, brother, and son.
Okay, so in order for you as a local law enforcement officer to shoot someone in the back, they have to already shown that they are willing to kill anyone that they encounter, meaning they have had to already commit such actions that you've witnessed or people have told you where you see people have been shot or stabbed brutally. You can't just go and shoot someone in the back when they're walking away, even if they have a gun in their back or whatever. I think they said he had it tucked in the back of his pants, but he's walking to his car. He's not flashing the weapon. So not only was he not holding the gun in his hand, he's walking to his car to, I would want to believe, to go home or to leave, but you can't just start shooting someone. You can command him to stop, but shooting him that many times, just one time is too many, but 17, that's a hell of a lot of shots. Like, one would think, did he know this guy? Did they meet before? What was said on the 911 phone call? Who called it in? What's going on here? So many questions.
Big old family from the East Lake Meadows. I mean, a loving family, man, and I just hurt for him, man. You know, he just leaves a lot behind.
Blackwell was shot and killed by Atlanta police officer Gerald Walker, who was off duty working a side job in Buckhead at 5 Paces Inn.
I just fell to my knees because I couldn't believe it. And I couldn't believe that it was 17 times in the back. Like, all the shots. It's not one shot in the front. It's all 17 in the back.
Everyone.
Now, people, it was a black officer who did it. The reason why this didn't make national news is because it was black officer, black person, black on black. Black suspect, black officer. Not even a suspect. He's actually he was innocent. He didn't do anything. He didn't deserve to get shot, not even one time in the back. So we're all these people that want to protest about black people being killed. If this was a white cop, could you imagine the movement we would have saw in Atlanta and pretty much everywhere in the United States that's very liberal? It would have been nonstop talk. But because it was a black cop, people just shrug it off. They don't care. But this is wrong. This is murder. So I don't think this cop is going to get away with this. But why isn't this national news? This should be national news. When someone is innocently shot that many times and in the back walking away, this is crazy.
Off duty working a side job in Buckhead at 5 Paces Inn.
I just fell to my knees because I couldn't believe it. And I couldn't believe that it was 17 times in the back. Like, all the shots. It's not one shot in the front. It's all 17 in the back.
That's crazy.
Everyone agrees an altercation happened at the bar.
Linton, I guess, was escorted out of the premises or whatnot.
The GBI says Officer Walker approached Blackwell outside, followed him around the corner.
The officer ensued, chased him down, and gunned him down.
Why are you following him? The altercation happened in the bar. You're off duty. You're not supposed You're supposed to respond as an off-duty law enforcement officer when something is major transpiring, not when an altercation happens and there's no reports. I haven't seen no reports that someone flashed a gun and threatened anyone to shoot or anything like that. And then you followed him instead of just calling in for backup, calling a dispatch where you could have got his license plate, or you already knew who he was. You could have just got his name and told the dispatch. This is just like either this guy knew him or he was intoxicated himself, but they said he was off duty working. So I don't know if they had beef, but that sounds personal. 17 shots is extremely personal.
That's what we
And
know.
The GBI says Blackwell got into a vehicle and put something in the back of his waistband.
If he wasn't pointing a gun at you or doing anything, what does that have to do with you shooting him in the back 17 times? That means he wasn't facing you. He wasn't a threat. Okay?
The officer gave commands regarding a gun before the officer opened fire.
I want him locked up. Gerald Walker needs to be behind bars.
The GBI is still investigating. Once they finish, the case will be handed over to the DA to decide whether a grand jury will consider charges. Atlanta police also.
Yeah, Atlanta police more than likely are doing an investigation. He needs to be charged. We're going to get Fox Local News and see what they say about this.
But we begin tonight with that Buckhead bar shooting. A local family speaking out after their loved one, 44-year-old Linton Blackwell, was shot and killed by an off-duty Atlanta police officer.
It happened around 11:30 that night on October 12th near the Five Paces Inn bar in Buckhead. Fox News' Larry Spruill joins us live tonight. Larry, you spoke with the family.
Yeah, Russ, we spoke for about 20 minutes tonight, and his cousin tells me he still cannot believe that his cousin was shot at this Five Paces bar here in Buckhead over 10 times. And tonight, he's speaking on behalf.
This is why I don't go to the bars anymore, too.
I got a call at 1 o'clock, 1 in the morning, and somebody said, my friend said, hey, man, I hope you said now your cousin gone. And I said, huh?
Jimmy Hill remembers the exact moment he got the news about his cousin, 44-year-old Linton Blackwell. Hill says his cousin was a father and a family man.
And
This man just, his kids just lost a dad.
He was well respected in the community. The community loved him. They respected him. He loved him. He gave respect. And he showed love to a lot of people.
Blackwell was shot and killed by an off-duty Atlanta police officer earlier this month near the Five Paces Inn bar in Buckhead.
Ex-job officer working a job at 41 Irby Avenue, Five Faces Bar, responded to security requesting a disruptive patron. He responded to the location and encountered the patient in the back parking lot who was trying to get to the establishment.
I couldn't believe it. And you know, tears started coming out my eyes.
Now, according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, the officer was working an extra job nearby when he heard an argument between Blackwell and another person. Police reports state Blackwell went to his car and came back with a gun. That's when the officer yelled commands and shot Blackwell multiple times. I got my hands on the autopsy report, and it shows multiple gunshots in Blackwell's back and butt.
Now, here's the thing. We don't know for sure if that is actually true, that he went to his car to get a gun. This guy was off duty, so he's not going to have the off duty. He's not going to have the actual camera to show what truly transpired. So we're going to have to depend on, well, they'll have to depend on the cameras that were in the parking lot, if there were any, this is rare. I have not seen any other footage of the incident. So we got to go by the word of what the police officer said, the off-duty cop that shot him, and the witnesses at the bar. And they can tell us what they saw. But even if the guy had the gun in his waist, if he was holding in his hand, you give commands, but you still can't shoot him. He's walking away. He has not threatened anybody else. And if he puts it in his waistband, you still shoot him. Yeah, he's gonna have to be held accountable. And I'm all for law enforcement, love law enforcement, I obey the law, but there's times when law enforcement officers need to be held accountable, and this is one of those times because unless there's some new information that comes out to make me change my opinion on this, my thoughts on this, I'm sticking to my guns, no pun intended, and saying that this man was murdered by that police officer. It's definitely a homicide, and he should be held accountable. And his family should be rewarded some kind of monetary funds because they just lost their father. Nothing's going to make up for it, but that's the least that the state of Georgia, the city of Atlanta can do. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below if you're from Atlanta. Also, let me know what you think. If you know the people involved or if you just heard more details that we can go with. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. See you next time.